Hello world, Becca here from Inside the Square, coming at you with another tutorial. This week, instead of talking about CSS, I wanted to show you how to create a countdown timer with HTML. Now, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, for those of you studying from home, and it's a pretty cool way to perform calculations on a website. That's just one of the many things that you can do with it, and that's what we're going to do with this code today. So I'm going to scroll down and give you a quick breakdown of this code before I show you how to install it. First and foremost, the only pieces of this code that you're going to want to change are in bold, shown right here. So H2 right here actually identifies the timer, the countdown timer, if you will. And this H2, you can actually change to an H1 style of text, an H3, or a paragraph, whatever style of text you would like to display. So I'll show you when we get into the code. I'll change this to H1 and it'll match the heading 1 setting on my website. Or I can make it blend in with paragraph text and make it change the H2 right here in this code to a P, and that'll match the paragraph text style. You've got all of those standard text style options. All right, next up in this code, this is the date we're actually counting down to. So it goes month, day, year, and then you can get really specific and count down to an hour, a minute, or even a second. This is done on a 24-hour clock. This example shows 13, 13, 13. So that would be 1 p.m. or 1:13 p.m. with 13 seconds added to it there on January 1st, 2021. All right, now this is the last part you're going to want to change. Right here in quotation marks, this is where you can actually add the text that will display once the countdown timer is over, okay? So let's take a look at how we put this on a website and how we change those three things. So first and foremost, we're going to select Edit on the page content. And this is added in an embedded script. I'm going to go ahead and delete this practice one here and show you what it looks like when we just add it right out of the gate, okay? I'm going to copy this whole code and I'm going to select the Add button and we're going to add a code block. Okay, did you follow that? I'm going to do that one more time to show you here. We're going to select this Add button and then code block. All right, now I'm going to take this filler text and paste what I just copied, and you'll notice it already popped up and started doing things, okay? So let's talk about changing this heading text style. If I change this H2 to an H1, I've got to do that on both sides of the parentheses here. There we go. Now it displays in the much bolder text and matches the style of the heading 1 font on my website. Now I can change this to an H3. Again, you want to get both spots. See how I got a little bit smaller, all capital letters there? That matches the H3. And if I change it to a P, it'll make it even tinier and match the standard type of body text on my website. You'll see here that that's the same size down here. That's the paragraph text that's on my Squarespace website. Let's go ahead and leave this in H2 so we can see it in slightly larger text while we're working on it, okay? So this part right here is the fancy calculation, but all we're going to change is the date. Now I'm going to set this for a day in the past, so we'll be able to see what our, let me scroll down here, what our response changes to once the countdown is up, okay? So let's change this to January 1st, 2003. All right. And then we're going to scroll down here and you see where I have this in bold on the actual code breakdown and on the blog, but right here in red, it says hint, change this to whatever you want to say when the timer is up. We're going to keep our response in the quotation marks and we'll say it's time and select apply. Now you'll notice we're still seeing the countdown we saw earlier. That's because it's in safe mode. Our browser didn't bother recalculating with this HTML code we put in here because we're telling it, hey, we're not really ready to see everything just yet. So if nothing changes, don't worry, it's still there. I'm going to select save, and then I'm going to refresh my page. And you'll see now as we refresh the page, what's going to show up is the text that says it's time because our countdown timer is already over. All right, I'm going to change this one more time here just to show you what it's going to look like if we just change the date to something in the very near future. Let's change this to August 2nd, 2019. No hours, no minutes, no seconds, just right at midnight, August 2nd, 2019. We're going to select apply and select save. And again, we must refresh. And we'll see here that the countdown has updated. That's 6 days away from now. All right. As always, the code is beneath the video. Just pay close attention and only change these parts in bold, okay? The heading text type, the date and time that you're counting down to, and this part in quotation marks, which will display when your countdown timer is up. All right, that's it for today's tutorial. Thanks for watching and have fun with your Squarespace website. If you liked this tutorial, you'll love my CSS cheat sheet. Download it now at insidethesquare.co/CSS.